Amari Cooper adds experience and production to the Bills' offense, and as long as the Buffalo Bills social media account doesn't tweet out who's stopping this offense, the Bills are big winners in this trade. Anytime somebody tweets out that dumb thing, it always backfires, so just don't do that, Buffalo. A weird thing happened on Monday Night Football. Both the Bills and the Jets walked away from the game going, you know what? We really need to trade for a wide receiver. So they did. End of video. God, I wish it was that easy. Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am your breaker of football news, Brandon Perna. This morning, Davante Adams was traded from the Raiders to the Jets. This afternoon, Amari Cooper was traded from the Browns to the Bills. Now, I predict I will trade making this video for 3 hours of sleep tonight. Can I get 30 minutes of REM? 30 minutes of REM, please? Speaking of REM, Amari Cooper gets to go from Diddy Watson to Josh Allen. That's like going from Deshaun Watson to Josh Allen. Yeah, that's the best analogy. Or a metaphor, I don't know the difference. That's like going from a dog pound to a dog park. No, wait, that's like being Michael Vick's dog. No, never mind. Amari Cooper and Davante Adams both make their new teams better. How much better? Well, that's up for debate. Pretend like I will help you find out today. First, let me check on Sir Yacht, a great creator and known Browns fan.
Another masterclass by Andrew Barry. If I have to hear that fucking line one more time, I'm going to be at the Clorox section at Walgreens.
Yep, that's going about as well as I thought.
Hey, somebody put the fucking laser beams on Andrew Barry. Congratulations, Andrew. You really solved all the problems with that one!
All Browns fans have wanted this year is for Kevin Stefanski to start Jameis Winston. Instead, they get the only offensive player with more than one touchdown traded off their team. Their second leading touchdown scorer this year is, of course, their safety. Whew. Let me do an impression of Bills fans after the trade. Yes! Yes! Let me do an impression of Raiders fans after the trade. We weren't gonna keep him anyway, right, guys? Let me do an impression of Jets fans after the trade. Oh, dear God, please let this be the thing that actually helps our team. And Browns fans. I'll do it. I'll fucking do it, I swear. I'll do it, I swear. Don't forget, all of your cursed shirts available at benchwarmershop.com. Now, before I even touch on the two insane trades, a couple other things happened. The Jets gave Hassan Reddick permission to seek a trade after he got new representation. His new agent is now the NFL's biggest dicked agent, Drew Rosenhaus. Maybe the Lions might actually check in on Reddick now. Then Pittsburgh's head coach Mike Tomlin revealed he's toying with the idea of starting Russell Wilson over Justin Fields Sunday against the Jets. The last thing that game needed was more chaos. Russell Wilson versus Aaron Rodgers. Oh, actually, yeah, I kind of want to see that. The NFL announced that Tom Brady is now a minority. Whoa, I had no idea he was black. I think Amazon is going to have to update this documentary, though. That's why you wait for all of the facts to come out, Amazon. All right, let's start with the Davante Adams trade. Less than 12 hours removed from their 3-point loss to the Buffalo Bills, the Jets pulled the trigger and killed their team. Oh, sorry, that's for week 17. They pulled off the completely expected and traded for receiver Davante Adams from the Raiders. Now, Adams has missed the last handful of games with a hamstring injury that I'm sure feels a lot better now that he's in New York City, out of that dry heat in Vegas with his once and future quarterback Aaron Rodgers. The Jets gave up a conditional third-round pick for Adams, and most crucially, they are assuming all of his remaining salary, which is, of course, $11.6 million for the rest of this season. The Jets and Adams are also working to restructure his contract moving forward. That conditional third-round pick that I mentioned earlier becomes a second-round pick if Adams makes an all-pro team, or if he's on the roster for the AFC Championship game of the Super Bowl. I'm not sure I'd count on those last two things happening, but who knows? Who knows? All things considered, I think this was, unfortunately, a good move for the Raiders, who can shed the Adams contract and recoup a pick in the process. It certainly doesn't make them any better this year, but they'll need all the assets they can get moving forward. Brock Bowers, buddy, get ready to catch 100 passes this season, and certainly next season, when Tom Brady becomes the first minority owner to start for his team and lose a Super Bowl. As for the Jets, this and the Saleh firing and the Nathaniel Hackett demotion confirms to me that they are desperate to make the playoffs this season before Aaron Rodgers gets a chance to consider retirement or consider becoming a monk. Possibly Secretary of Defense, maybe an astronaut, all the normal shit Rodgers considers every offseason. The offense was firing on most cylinders last night against Buffalo, but now they clearly think that Adams is a piece that can help them turn around from this 2-4 start to the season. It's also fair to wonder what the long-term plan is with Davante Adams if, say, Aaron Rodgers calls it quits after this season, which certainly feels possible. Is Adams going to want to ride it out with an unknown quarterback next season and after? I doubt it, but that's a bridge they'll cross later because this move was about salvaging 2024. The tough thing to decipher is whether or not Adams is still elite. He thrived in 2022 with Derek Carr catching 14 TDs for 1,500 yards. The following season, with a fired head coach and a carousel of QBs, 8 touchdowns, 1,100 yards, which was probably equivalent to 1,600. I think he's still good, but this year, just a couple games into the season, with the Gardner and an injury, I really don't know. What I do know is that he knows what Aaron Rodgers wants on any given play, and he should help make their offense better. The winning reveal, Davante Adams on the Pat McAfee show today.
What's that? Well!
Okay, that was cute. That's the cutest darn thing that will ever happen on the McAfee show. Apparently, Davante didn't waste any time getting to New York. My guess is he was literally waiting, perhaps even sleeping outside the Jets facility, waiting for the trade to be finalized and for his key card to start working. Now, the football world is also in a better place since Ryan Fitzpatrick joined Twitter. We already know Fitzpatrick hates Tom Brady.
But he just pisses me off.
Although his tone might change now that he knows Tom Brady's black, because that could be construed as racism, Ryan. But I'm starting to gather that Fitzmagic is not an Aaron Rodgers stan either. He brings up a good point about the excuses the Jets will be running out of if the Adams trade does not work out. And now the Jets are making Mike Williams available for a trade. Before this news emerged, I had Mike Williams as a big loser in this situation. Whether or not he was actually supposed to be able to read Aaron Rodgers' mind and come back to that ball on Monday Night Football, we'll never know. But once Adams arrived, Mike became receiver number 4. Now, if he can get traded back to the Chargers, he could be a big winner. I watched LA with a banged up Quentin Johnston and a banged up Ladd McConkey on Sunday, and they could use some help. The Bills released MVS as well, so the Chiefs could do the most hilarious thing ever and sign MVS again. Last year, of course, the Chiefs traded back for Mecole Hardman after he was, yes, a Jets receiver, no longer needed with the Aaron Rodgers injury. Kansas City is in the receiver market. They already added Juju Smith-Schuster and Kareem Hunt. Guys, with all these retreads, I'm starting to believe Jordy Nelson as a Jet is not a possibility, but a certainty. But holy fuck, if the Chiefs don't call about MVS, how sad will that be for MVS? He'll literally be the one guy they let go that they didn't bring back. Now, the Bills won the game and may have gotten the better value trade. Winners, the Bills. The Bills get Amari Cooper and a 6th round pick in exchange for a 3rd rounder in the next draft and a 7th rounder in 2026. Amari Cooper handled the situation like a seasoned vet, stating, "I'm closing this pound for good." Vet joke. Actually, he said, Andrew Berry called me. He told me what was going on. As far as playing with Josh Allen, I've always been a fan of his game. I'm sure to see it up close and personal and play alongside him, I'm sure it's going to be great. Tony, I don't know why I did that. Safe to say, though, that Amari is not one of the people who voted in that ESPN poll suggesting Josh Allen was overrated. Davante Adams would have been too expensive for the Bills, but I believe they looked into it. Luckily for Buffalo, Amari Cooper will only cost $806,000 because Cleveland converted $18.8 million of Cooper's salary to a signing bonus back in March, which means the Browns paid Amari Cooper $19.2 million this year for 252 yards and 2 touchdowns, which sounds like a lot. But that's the most productive person on their entire fucking offense. That's 1 more touchdown and 2 more yards than their leading receiver, Jerry Jeudy. Jeudy might be a real loser here. Sure, he gets to be the new number 1 target, but he's the number 1 target for one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL right now. That's like being the best inmate in your cell block. Jeudy signed a 3-year, $58 million deal when he joined the Browns back in March. Sorry, I read that wrong. Jerry Jeudy regrets signing his 3-year deal with the Browns back in March. Amari Cooper is actually a year and a half younger than Davante Adams. Cooper is 30 and Adams will turn 32 in December. Cooper is also healthier. We've joked about the hamstring injury, yes. But let's assume it's real because I want to live in a world where I believe Davante Adams would never lie. Cooper is a big winner, not just because he's healthier, but because he's going to the least dysfunctional team of all the teams mentioned today. The Jets, the Browns, and the Raiders are 3 different kinds of fucked up. The things we get annoyed by with the Bills are minor issues that we believe are preventing them from being a Super Bowl team instead of a perennial playoff team. Some of us would give our testicles to be a perennial playoff team, including the Browns, Jets, and Raiders. Plus, Josh Allen is just a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers right now, and the Bills' offense really might just be one missing solid piece away from a Super Bowl or a deep run. The Bills got that Monday night win without James Cook, Ed Oliver, and of course Von Miller. They should get a bit better every single week, and Ray Davis filled in very nicely for James Cook at running back. This is an absolutely merciful trade for Cooper personally, who goes from one of the most screwed up situations in the NFL to one of the best. He gets to catch passes from a quarterback with 0 assault allegations and 0 interceptions on the season. And he gets a chance to compete for a championship after spending his first decade in the NFL with the Raiders, Cowboys, and Browns. As a Broncos fan, I was holding out hope that the Broncos might make a move for Amari Cooper, who I think could have helped out with Bo Nix and given Denver a different type of receiver. But at the end of the day, Buffalo is in the middle of a championship window, and they were aggressive in getting him well in advance of the trade deadline. Cooper is one of the best route runners in the league, and I think he can give them a Stephon Diggs type presence on the field without a Stephon Diggs type presence in the locker room. And don't forget, we're doing the charity fundraiser during the Thursday Night Football Broncos Saints stream. The link to that charity, Solving Kids Cancer, is below. Start donating now. We're trying to raise $30,000. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please, God, subscribe here. YouTube is trying to tell me subs are dead. I don't believe it. Will you subscribe to keep subs alive?